It's a three-character play, and sort of the elevator pitch of what it's about. It's a meditation on the biblical Exodus and waiting for Godot, which is one of my favorite plays. Beckett was the one who sort of opened the door to theater for me, and his language really just hit home, where I was like, oh yeah, this is exactly what the world feels like sometimes. But as somebody who was also raised in church and sort of raised to believe that, the arc of history bends towards justice and that there is a promised land for God's children and all of these things, so those are conflicting worldviews to me. And so this question is, okay, if for these two young black men, is there a promised land for them, and what has to happen in order for them to get there? How might they get there? I was teaching full-time at the Borough of Manhattan Community College, which is one of the CUNY schools in New York. Professionally, I'd go to class every day, and I had two young African-American students who were expert at getting me off topic, at asking the question that would, and they looked down 15 minutes later and were nowhere near the lesson, and they were both very dear to me, and then increasingly to each other, and they became very, very good friends. And then about 3/4 of the way through the semester, the alpha, I would say, of the two of them stopped coming to class and just sort of disappeared, which is not actually all that uncommon given the student population. But he had made an impression on me, and I reached out to him, didn't hear anything. And then a few weeks later, he shows up again and lets me know that he had, for some useless infraction, had violated his parole, which then opens up the entire backstory. Okay, he's been to prison jail before, and that he would no longer be coming. And so he ended up not finishing the semester, not finishing the class. And that friendship between the two of them broke up. And so that was happening personally on a daily basis for me, professionally on a daily basis. And then personally, I'd go home and sort of feel like, okay, where's my writing? Where is it going? What's happening? I'm feeling very frustrated. And then obviously nationally, it was right around the time of Trayvon Martin's death. And it was sort of the triangulation, I think, between those three situations that got me to a place where I was very angry, and I was very sad, and I was very frustrated with what felt like an incredibly absurd cycle of both violence and inertia, for lack of a better word. I felt stuck, and I felt like this sort of absurdist worldview seemed to be like coming to fruition, like right in front of my eyes. I think at its very heart, for me, this play asks us collectively to consider the value of Black lives, specifically the value of the lives of young Black men. And I would say the value of the lives of young Black men who are not special, who are not entertainers, they're not athletes, they're not secret math geniuses, they might never get better, they might never be different, but to entertain the possibility that we need to live in a society that does not ask these young men to prove their worth.